Stand by, I'll be right there.
He knows your music, he speaks your mind, and he's got you locked on. Call him K, cause you're okay with him.
A grand afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another exciting episode, another exciting podcast on air with your host K.L.P, live from Swanky Studios and FX Studios of Atlanta. It's good to be back in the studio, T. Let me tell y'all, it's a beautiful Wednesday. It's September 15th. Hopefully you guys are ready for another podcast here today because we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, we're recording for our audio platforms and also we are recording our video. And I have to remember, because I noticed that when we filmed K.L.P Aftermath, which you guys could go listen to it right now, don't miss it. You don't want to miss that show, K.L.P Aftermath, live from Emory University. 2 episodes strong. Don't want to miss it. I recommend you guys going out there and taking a look. And I just did it, T. We got Tyrus in the studio, and let me tell y'all, T, he was asking me like, hey, you've been doing your podcast for K.L.P Aftermath, and you haven't had me in the studio, but now it's good to be back in the studio to do our other show on air with your host K.L.P, and we're also recording for YouTube the video version of it. And I gotta remember, and I'd like to apologize to all of my fans out there because I do this and it's my fault. I look at the screen and not look into the camera because I like to look into the camera so that way I know I'm talking to my fans, talking to our audiences, and I have this thing where I just keep looking into the screen over here and not really looking into the camera. So I apologize for that. We had a lot of comments on Twitter, and a lot of my friends had said, your video style of your podcast is really, really unique, but you're not looking into the camera. You're looking all over the place, but not into the camera. So I apologize for that. I'm working on it. Still kind of new, still thinking about it, still trying to perfect my craft a little bit when it comes to recording our podcast, the video version of it. So, you guys been loving it, and we're here to stay. We're here to keep going and continue on with the legacy. So if you guys missed it, of course, it's available right now on Swanky 93.3, the radio station, and also Live 94.6, the radio station for sure. It is available, K.L.P Aftermath, live from Emory. We have 2 episodes, strong. A lot of people did ask us, are we doing shorter episodes for those podcasts? The answer to that, for now, is yes. The reason for that is because when I'm out on campus, not only I'm doing the podcast on campus, I actually do work on the campus. So when I'm out, have some free time throughout the day, I'm jetting to the library or a safe space. That way I can perform the podcast for you guys. And I only have a 15-minute window block. Not saying I only have 15 minutes of break time or free time. That's not what I'm saying. 15 minutes is the only block I can get scheduled for the podcast as of right now. So there's a lot we can talk about in 15 minutes. A lot of my fans also said through our forum that they actually prefer shorter episodes, so that way it's short, sweet, simple, to the point. I'm learning a lot of things from YouTube when it comes to other content creators, that they're creating shorter videos, so that way it's short, sweet, simple, to the point. You're not watching over an hour-long video and you end up getting bored. That's something we've been learning to do for a very, very long time. You guys notice that in our movies too, in our films have been shorter and shorter and shorter since day one, because you guys like the shorter episodes, you like the shorter videos that we produce. And honestly, we actually hit a good market when we do shorter videos anyway. So as a business perspective, it works out really, really well. So just stay tuned for that as well. We're 15 minutes, that's our block right now. We might sometimes go to 20 minutes. It just depends on the block that we have scheduled for K.L.P Aftermath. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying that show. Of course, T, you guys didn't come on the show just to talk about K.L.P Aftermath. You can go research that out. We got T up in the building. What up, T? We're still practicing social distancing here at K.L.P Entertainment, but he's over there making sure that we sound fantastic. And as always, we sound very, very good, T. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys saw the video. You saw the title. Yes, this is my full review reaction of Apple's keynote that they had a couple of days ago. So many new announcements, some new things have been announced for Apple for sure. And I have my iPhone right here in my pocket because I have some notes, I have some critiques, some notes that I am going to express here on the video version of On Air with your host K.L.P, and also for the audio people that's listening to me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, and Audible. So Apple had their previous keynote event for this past fall, and there's a lot of things that they have announced that has been fantastic for you guys out there, and for me too, because after my phone, and I talked about this in K.L.P Aftermath, after my phone, I have the product red iPhone right now. As soon as I pay this phone off, I never pay outright for a phone. I'm not paying $1,000 for a phone up front. I would rather do some payment plan, and a lot of us do payment plans. You know, there's nothing wrong about doing payment plans on your phone and your devices. Truth, I use a payment plan for my phone. I even use a payment plan for my Apple Watch, because we don't just have money to just shell out like that just to say, hey, take $1,000, Apple. There's my money. Where's my iPhone? Again, we have phone carriers that do that, and 95% of humans that are Apple lovers, they use some sort of payment plan. So I'm not afraid to say that on the podcast. I use payment plans for some devices that I have. I don't just go pay up front for it. Apple iPhone 13, we'll get to that, because that's going to be the phone that I might upgrade to. As soon as I pay this phone off, I am going to upgrade my phone here today. And you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Of course, iPhone 13, the wonderful Tim Cook had announced iPhone 13, y'all. It's a lot going on. Of course, they say it's their most advanced dual camera system ever, even brighter OLED display, and even lightning fast chips that leaves the competition behind. A huge leap in battery life, of course. So the iPhone 13, they're coming up with some very, very swanky colors for it. I'm excited for it. They're saying it's the most durable, that's from the front and center and edge to edge, and of course a lightning fast chip that leaves competition behind. A huge leap in battery life you'll notice every day. Of course, your new superpower. Of course, the pre-orders have started. We'll start the 17th at 5 a.m. By the time it hasn't been the 17th yet, but available on September 24th. Of course, you can pay up to $29 a month for it, or for 24 months, or outright when you trade in. $6.99 before you trade in. It's really cool that they said this a lot with these. If you have a good durable iPhone, whether it's the 10, 11, or 12, I believe, you get to trade that phone in. You get, let's just say for an example, the iPhone 13, the standard one, you get $600 off. So essentially, you're only paying $100 for the iPhone 13. So that's kind of a good deal if you think about it. They mentioned that in the keynote. And I was blown away about that deal, because that's a pretty swanky deal if you think about it, because you're not spending too much for a phone. You're not paying too much payment plans on a phone when you have a new phone. Now, of course, my phone, and I am, I'll say it for the video version and for the podcast version of today's show, my phone is cracked at the bottom. So I probably won't be eligible for this unless I fix this phone. I don't plan on spending money to get this thing fixed, because I'm almost done paying this phone off. As soon as I pay it off, I'm upgrading to a different phone. So I probably won't be able to take advantage of this opportunity to get some money back for this phone. But if you do have a crisp phone that you're ready to trade in, you get a lot of money off of it. So it's a pretty good deal. Of course, they got a new pink finish. Of course, these colors, you guys, they have it. The colors are, of course, they've got it in the blue finish, the pink finish. The midnight finish looks really, really good. The starlight finish, I've been wanting to get kind of a white phone for a while, but with white, it kind of can get a little dirty depending on what you do. And I do a lot of outside activities, so I don't think the white would suit me that well, but it is available. And of course, that beautiful product red, I might go for that product red because I just love red. As you see in the video version, this phone is red and it just works wonders for sure. Of course, they've got the 6.1 Super Retina XDR display, and of course, the iPhone 13 mini has the 5.4. Of course, the durable flat edge design. They have the cameras diagonal this time, water resistance, and of course, they really, with the cameras too, they introduced a lot of great things too. With that dual kind of having the cameras to the side there, it really, I think it works. A lot of people were kind of upset about the design of that and how they prefer having the 3 cameras, so you're kind of downgrading from the 3 cameras to the 2. Honestly, I think it works. It really does work in today's society, where a lot of photographers, a lot of cinematographers will be very happy with it. And of course, we're going to talk about that cinematic mode in just a few seconds here. The new ultra-wide camera reveals more details in dark areas of your photos. The new wide camera captures 47, get this y'all, 47% more light for better videos and photos. Very, very exciting. Of course, the new sensor shift optical, and my notes is acting funny, image stabilizations to help keep your shot steady even when you are not. So very, very good. Of course, it even fits into the iPhone 13 mini, so you have some opportunities to take advantage of these phones with the camera with display. And honestly, with iPhone, it is all about the cameras. It really is. It's all about the cameras and what we can do. Of course, iPhone went to film school, so you don't have to. This is the topic of conversation, T. This is what people are talking about with these new iPhones. What really got me excited, of course, is presenting the cinematic mode. You guys know I'm a nominated director and nominated executive producer, so I was just blown away when I saw this. Not trying to sound like an Apple fanboy. Maybe I am just an Apple fanboy, just a little bit, but presenting cinematic mode. Of course, filmmakers using a technique called rack focus, which I am familiar with rack focus. We're trying to learn how to do that with our films too. Shifting focus from one subject to another to guide the audience's attentions in their movies. Now, iPhone makes it easy for you to bring the same storytelling technique to your videos. Blown away. I'm blown away about that, because that is the new age of how people are going to do their videos. I cannot wait to see all different types of creatives doing cinematic mode and making their own movies. And guess what? They can do it straight from their phone. I can see a lot of YouTubers doing that. I've watched a lot of YouTubers. I watch Your Average Consumer, Judd's channel, and Marcus Brownlee. I saw their reviews, and then Lou from Unbox Therapy, and they're blown away about that. They are so ready to tour around that cinematic mode, because they're YouTubers and they're looking to build their creativity when it comes to their videos. Check out all their YouTube channels. This is not a sponsor. They don't really know me, but check out their YouTube channel, because they have their own opinions. Cinematic mode automatically creates beautiful depth, effects, and focus transitions just by starting to record just start recording, and cinematic mode will hold focus of your subject while creating a beautiful depth of field effect all around. Of course, I'm blown away about this. That has been one of those things that I've been very, very blown away about. They're really trying to cater to us cinematography people, us creatives, us filmmakers, and it makes us happy. It really does make me, being part of the film community, making me real happy about this, because now, I'm not saying that with our films, because some of our films did go digital, I would say. Over the years now, our films have been becoming more digital nowadays, but this is a nice feature when we do decide to go undigital, or we can incorporate this in digital some way, somehow. So I'm stoked. I'm very happy with that. You can adjust the depth effect after you shoot when you change the focus, and adjust the blur around after shooting wraps. No problem. iPhone lets you do it with a few taps and a swipe. Even pro movie cameras can't do that. It's true. Some pro cameras can't do that. It is what it is. Of course, cinematic mode shoots in Dolby Vision HDR. Pretty good. Of course, you can take a great photo using that same kind of effect. And of course, they're really focusing on night mode with the photography side of things, and that works really well because a lot of dark photos that you're working on, it really does really good injustice with your photography skill of things. So it works out. Portrait mode gets an update for sure, and so much more to come within this phone. Of course, a camera with a style of all your own. They're having so many depth of field changes, portrait mode changes. It just really suits well for this, and I gotta give it for Apple because their site looks really good. I'm scrolling through their site now, and it really is good. Of course, a front camera that doesn't take a back seat will be that new iPhone 13. So hopefully you guys go out there. Let me know what you guys think about that iPhone 13. We still got more to talk about here on the show. Not saying that I'm closing it out, but I'm closing it out for the iPhone side of things. And I hope that you guys pick up that iPhone. I will pick up the iPhone. I really will pick up that iPhone later on, as soon as I pay this phone off. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that for sure. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Apple Watch, of course. And we don't even know how long this podcast is going to be because this is my review. This is a full-blown review of how I feel about Apple's event. Apple Watch Series 7, the largest and most advanced, always on retina display, the most durable Apple Watch ever, breakthrough health innovations up to 33% faster charging. I briefly am going to talk about the Apple Watch because I was kind of hoping. There's been rumors about the new design of the Apple Watch where it was going to be a flat design, like a flat square design. I saw that on like Twitter, and a lot of fans thought that was going to be it. I do have to say that the screen looks a little bit bigger. I do say that the display of your clock, your interface display, they're more edgier, which is great because the watch looks really, really smooth. They really catered the Series 7 for fitness, which a lot of YouTubers, when they reviewed when they did their Apple review of the event, it was funny because a lot of YouTubers, some YouTubers are excited about the fitness side of things, but some YouTubers like, I don't even work out. I don't even do this. So why would I need this? Will this be something that I would upgrade my current Apple Watch? Probably not, because I have the Apple Watch SE and it works just as fine, in my opinion. I do believe that this is going to be a little bit faster. I just haven't been blown away with the Apple Watch this lineup because I was hoping it would have a different design. It's edge-to-edge screen on the actual interface of your face watch. So they really focused on that to make sure that it seamlessly seems like you don't have a bezel or a little bump or a little notch on your Apple Watches. Sleek design, they got quite a few new colors. Of course, they got that new green. I like to call that money green because it's like the dark green for sure. They got the blue, they have the product red. Of course, they have the Starlight and Midnight. So again, I haven't been such a huge fan when it came to the Apple Watch. They really cater, and I'm going to reinstate this heavily for the podcast. They really haven't stated for it to be very catered to fitness. I haven't used Apple Fitness because I go to the gym. I mean, I'm not saying that it's for people who should just go to the gym. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't see the need, for my case, a fitness app where you have to pay a subscription for the fitness when I can just go to the gym. I personally, for me, while we're practicing social distancing, I have to throw that out there too, because I don't want people thinking I'm just going to the gym willy-nilly. When I'm in the gym, I'm practicing social distancing, I'm wearing a mask unless I'm doing something heavy. I like the environment of going to a gym. I like the environment of talking to my trainer, person in hand, and he helping me train. That's the way I see it. That's the way I like about that fitness, where I'm actually going to the environment, using the machines, doing my thing. I feel like that has a more impact. I think it works for me. My fitness activity rings I do use heavily. I really do use my activity rings heavily when I'm in the gym. My current watch does display when it's detecting that I'm walking or I'm running, it say, would you like to record your walk? So that way your activity ring gets activated. I use that, not saying that I don't, because I really do use that heavily. I just, personally for me, I would just go to the gym. I wouldn't want to pay a subscription to do fitness at my house, even though it is beneficial right now for a lot of people who just want to stay home, who wants to continue to be quarantined, because we are still in COVID-19 pandemic. So I see both sides, is what I'm saying. I see both sides of it. Will this be something that I will pick up? No, because number one, I'm paying monthly for my Apple Watch now. A good fee too. Like I mean, each month I could get a sandwich for the amount I'm paying for my watch much. So it's a great deal, honestly. AT&T, not a sponsor, but AT&T, they got the deals. But the Series 7, I just don't see the need for me to get it. I'm fine with just my SE, my Apple Watch SE. It does the job. And I think a lot of people are just like, okay, the watch is nice, right? But I already have an Apple Watch. Now, if you have the Series 3, yeah, you might want to upgrade, because the Series 3 or the Series 2 and the first series, some people still got those series, and it works for them. It really does work for them with what they got going on, for sure. But I just don't see the need for the new Apple Watch, for sure. So I had to get signed in here. T was giving me that the timestamp was getting off centered a little bit. Sorry about that, y'all. But like I was saying, the Apple Watch, I don't see the need for it. But if you have a Series 3, yeah, you might want to upgrade it. And if you upgrade, you can try the Series 7, or if you're going for a budget efficient Apple Watch, you can't go wrong with the Apple iWatch SE. You just can't. It's budget friendly. It does kind of the same thing, but maybe the Series 7 can do a little bit more, but not too much. So if you're going for a cost efficient kind of thing, stick with the Series 7 for sure. Of course, the next thing that came up to the lineup, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the iPad mini, powerful A15 Bionic chip, new screen design, super fast 5G, ultra wide front camera, and center stage, now with 4 gorgeous colors. Of course, the iPad mini is coming back, and you had the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, and now we finally get an update for the iPad mini. Of course, my brother did have an iPad mini. It was cute, it was small, it did the thing, right? But with the new iPad mini, the powerful A15 Bionic chip, that's Apple's chip, very powerful chip, will be installed into this new thing. Of course, all new design and fast 5G. And I believe they mentioned 5G, but I believe that you'll have to go to your carrier, whether it's AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, to see if they have that 5G imported for you guys out there. The ultra wide front camera with center stage, I think that's going to be very powerful for that, because now it's making you the center stage, no pun intended, but you the center stage of your video conferencing call, your phone call, your FaceTime with your family or with your business. Currently with us, yeah, I do a lot of Zoom calls. I'll do a lot of FaceTime calls. And I think this will be a very nifty thing for me for center stage, because now whenever you're moving around, the camera moves with you. So I think with the adjusters too, I think that's a great thing. That's a great thing for the new iPad mini. That's the newest thing right now, is trying to find ways to solve a problem. That's what Apple's been thinking about for a very, very long time, trying to figure out how can they solve the problem. I think they solved the problem with that, because they're able to put you at the center of the stage of your conferencing call, whatever it is, your conferencing calls, your Zoom calls, it works. They're adding that into TikTok, so a lot of TikTok creators are getting more creative with that. Very, very good with the iPad. Of course, the original iPad, new iPad, has the advanced A13 Bionic chip, two-tone technology, ultra-wide front camera with center stage, now starting at 64 gigabytes. So after all of that, of course, Tim Cook says at the end of his announcement that there's one more thing that they got to announce. And of course, they announced that iPhone 13 Pro, a dramatic, more powerful camera system, an all-new OLED display with ProMotion, and the fastest smartphone chip, a huge leap in the battery life. So, just when we thought we saw it all, of course, the iPhone 13 Pro. This right here, this phone, and I saw it, these phones look beautiful. I gotta say, these phones look tremendously beautiful. Oh, so pro, the iPhone 13 Pro. They've got a lot going on here, for sure. Of course, you can start your pre-order for the iPhone 13 Pro at 5 a.m. on the 17th, and then it'll be available for the 24th. They were getting a lot of specs, right? A lot of things are going to be in this powerful phone. There's a lot more gigabytes that's going to be in this powerful phone. And as I was watching and hearing Tim Cook say about the idea of this phone being out there, it comes with a price, right? It's not going to be $699. It's not going to be $599. From $41.62 if you go through a carrier, whether it's T-Mobile or AT&T, you're paying that a month for 24 months, or it's going to be $1,000. When you trade in, you probably get some money off when you trade in. Honestly, that's a great deal, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny for this phone. Would I go for this phone? Probably not. I wouldn't pay so much for a phone. There's a lot of things that I would pay something else using that kind of budget. Of course, the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max, another phone, 6.7 is going to be the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and 6.1 Retina display, XDR Retina for 6.1. So you have some options. They come in 4 colors, of course. That new Sierra Blue. I saw another YouTuber, it was Your Average Consumer, Judd said that he preferred the navy blue from the iPhone 12s, like the little navy darker blue. That dark blue was pretty clean. So now they introduced that new Sierra Blue. Of course, they got the silver, the gold finish, and the graphite. Let me tell you, that gold looked good. That looks like some money. That looks like some money. Seeing it, and in the video version, I don't know if you guys excuse the cracked phone that I have, but iPhone, that's the gold. I don't know if it showed really well, but by gosh, this phone looks beautiful. It's gonna cost. Stainless steel, surgical grade, of course, with the new iPhones. Powerful, smarter, tougher glass that's going to be implemented in this phone. Industry leading for the water resistance. As always, they went for that 3-camera design. Still gonna have the same specs as the original iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, different, more lighting, more battery life, more brightness. So it's essentially the same thing, but a little bit more powerful. The zoom works wonders. Portrait mode will be working wonders. Of course, they got the optical zoom for telephoto, so that's always good for photographers for sure. As we scroll down my notes here, of course, they're advocating that new cinematic mode. Very, very exciting for sure, for that phone to be coming out. This phone looks and feels, and I say feels because I feel it in my heart. I can't really touch it right now because we ain't got it, but if you have the budget for this, I say go for it. It is going to cost you a pretty penny, so I probably won't pick this up. When I upgrade my phone, I would probably just stick to the original 13s because it'll just do what I need it to do. Let me tell you, Apple's doing their thing, man. Apple is doing the damn thing. They're doing a lot of great things that is mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. So it's incredible to see the future of Apple. As always, their event was really good. They catered back to the state of California, so they had a little California music playing at the beginning, so it worked really well. The event was just fantastic, and we saw that all we could see. We knew the new iPhone 13s were coming, but now that we finally see a glance of it, can't wait to get it in my hands. I'll probably do a review on it. And it probably won't be next week when I get the phone. It's probably going to be when I pay my current phone off, and then I'll upgrade, and then I'll tell you all about it. Some people, some YouTubers, of course, you'll see it on the channel. They're going to get this phone. A lot of consumers, they're just going to pick it up because it's new and it's Apple. So they're going to pick up anything that Apple throw down. So very, very excited for that. Congratulations to Apple from their announcement. It's been good. It's been a very good event, and I'm glad that I was able to share you guys my reactions for sure. So that's going to wrap it up here on the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 30-minute podcast today, I believe, and just talking about Apple today. But you guys, if you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for both YouTube and Daily Motion at K.L.P Entertainment. And also, if you're listening to our audio platform, please be sure to share the audio with your friends, our podcast with your friends, so that way you don't miss, of course, new episodes from us, and then you get to share your own experience about how you feel about Apple's event. So that's going to wrap it up here on the podcast show. I've been your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas, on Air with K.L.P. As always, I like to say stay safe, stay swanky.